This video is going to show you how to analyze a ranking task or TIPER style question. Here's the example question that we're going to use. The mass m of an engine's force F is shown for each of the cars below. Rank each car's acceleration from largest to smallest and describe why you rank them this way. So I need a relationship, some kind of physics relationship to relate acceleration, mass, and force. That's going to be Newton's second law, F equals ma. However, the way it's written isn't really helpful. It just tells me the force is directly proportional to the mass, which is directly proportional to the acceleration. I want to rank the accelerations, so I'm going to rearrange this for the acceleration, which tells me that the acceleration is directly proportional to the force and inversely proportional to the mass. Now I'll set that off to the side, keep that handy. So to figure out the ranking task, I don't need to solve any problems, I just need to be able to compare them. So all I need to do is take a look at the factors that change the force and the mass. So in the case of the first car, it's twice the force and a single mass, so that's 2 over 1, which is 2. The second car, 3 times the force, 3 times the mass, that's 1. The third car, C car, is double the force, half the mass, that's 4. 4 times the force, 5 times the mass, which is 0.8. And finally, a force divided by 1/2 the mass, well, in this case, it's going to come out as a 2. So now I've got some way of looking at these to rank the questions. When answering these styles of questions on my Google Forms, I have a couple rules because the answers are going to eventually end up in a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet's going to grade them, and it's very particular about what it looks at. So here are the rules, and they're also mentioned on the questions as well when you start having to put them into the forms. First, always use capital letters. Second, only use greater than and equals to signs. Third, do not use any spaces in your answer. And finally, when two values are equal, write them in alphabetical order. So for example, if B and C were equal, you would write B equals C, not C equals B. Let's take a look at the answer and what would be in my spreadsheet. Well, C is the biggest number, so that's 4, so that would be first. So C, and that's going to be greater than, because I can't use less than, so it's going to be greater than the next value. And that's A and E. A and E are tied, so I'll put them in alphabetical order. A equals E. That's going to be greater than the next number, which is B, and that's greater than the last number, which is going to be D. So C is greater than A, which is equal to E, which is greater than B and greater than D. Everything's in capitals, no spaces, only use greater than and equals to signs. If you are using my forms, let's take a little quiz and see if you can figure out what's wrong with these answers. If you were to answer a ranking task or TIPER question on one of my Google Forms, then which of these answers would you write in the form to be counted as correct? Here's the question. Rank the following from largest to smallest. So you can see the answers, fairly straightforward. And here are the responses. Now, which one of these responses is correct? You got 45 seconds. Response number 4 is correct, and here's what's wrong with the other responses.